Hello and greetings to everyone. This is Ayya Phalanyani speaking from Germany, Ananja Vihara. We're sitting in the meditation hall of our monastery, and for the beginning, until there are more people joining in, I would just like to close our eyes and be in silence, be in stillness, and watch the breath for some moments, for some minutes. So sit comfortable, sit upright. No matter on a chair or on the floor, however, the back upright. And breathing in and breathing out with totally relaxed belly. So make yourself feel comfortable as you sit there. Nothing tensed, nothing hold. Check your belly, the breath, whether the breath can go in and out unobstructed. Check your chest, whether the breath can flow in and out of your chest freely. Check your shoulders. Make sure they're not tensed. Just breathe in and out softly, smoothly. Check your chin, your cheeks, and your forehead. And every breath that comes in to your body is taken in with softness. In every breath that is going out, is going out with tenderness and love. So much so that from that spot where you are, where this body of yours is sitting, and that mind of yours is, from that spot, there is not any thought of ill will. There is only harmlessness, softness, tenderness, loving kindness, things like that. Anything harsh, cruel, and ill-willing subsides totally, and vanishes. And the next breath, again, only softness, only goodwill is streaming in and out. I think by now there are some people, so I think it's time to start to talk. I'm not sure how much or how long I can talk. It's still a little bit difficult. You might have noticed that I did not give the talks last week and the week before. That was because I was sick with first a borreliosis, I think. No, it's called Lyme disease. With the Lyme disease. And then afterwards, after a few days of Lyme disease, I caught COVID. And since the system was low, it had it caught me right. So I was quite sick and I'm in recovery mode now. I got out of quarantine day before yesterday on Monday, and it seems I have still either borreliosis or long COVID. It's not too sure yet. Anyway, for me that was reason enough to talk about Samvega. And as almost usually, I ask you to bear up with me because I'm so tired and and so stupid. This really took the best part of my cognitive capacities and of the ability of thinking. So I am much better. I can speak. I couldn't, but now I can. So, Samvega. Why am I talking about Samvega in such a situation? Samvega is the urgency to have a spiritual development. It's also an anxiety, but it's always related to the spiritual development or the development of our practice. So, Sang is part of that part of the word is meaning putting together, gathering, putting together. And Vega comes from Vich, which is Vedic and means trembling. But Vega in itself in Pali would mean that there's a quick notion. There is a, I'm sorry, there is an impulse. That would be the part Vega of the word, Samvega. So I think the best contemporary translation into English would be actually really like getting your act together. So if you want to do something important, like, for example, becoming enlightened or becoming a better person, you got to get your act together. And that knowing you got to get your act together, that would be Samvega. So you understand the need to do something. And there are, it is said, 8 reasons. 8 reasons for Samvega. The first 4 are birth, old age, sickness, and that's why it came to my mind to talk about it, and death. These are the first 4, the divine messengers, and we did speak about these already. And then we have other reasons. The misery of being in the apayas, that would be being in some hell realms. So fear of hell or fear of going down would be a reason to develop Samvega, if for nothing else than that. Also, 3 in 1, so to say, the understanding the misery, or that the understanding that comes from the misery that is caused by being in samsara. So, and it is threefold or 3 in 1, because it's knowledge of of the misery of samsara, but that is in the present, in the past, and in the future. So these are the eight courses for Samvega. And I am presently very much aware of the Samvega that comes from illness. Because I have just been sick, and I'm still recovering. So I'm far from being as I was before. And that I just wanted to share with you how quick it can happen, you know? You are well and fine and in the height of your well-being, and then some little creature crawls up your leg and bites. And here in Bavaria, I read afterwards that almost all ticks, or the majority of the ticks, have Lyme disease, so would transfer that. So you need to be really aware of checking for ticks. So that is one little thing that can change so much. And then when your system is low, or even when it is not low, but you just meet somebody, you know, there was somebody, and I don't blame her for that. She came here with a test. We still request our guests to present a negative COVID test. So she presented that, and she was well. And next day she woke up and she wasn't well anymore. And she did another test, and it came out with COVID. So in the meantime, I had spoken with her, and we had a report about it. I talked about meditation. So that was the moment when I contracted it. And that was real quick. That was just exchanging some pleasantries and talking about meditation. So something really wholesome. And the thing is, why I'm saying that and why I'm connecting that with Samvega is you never know. You never know what is coming when towards you, whether that is old age or sickness or death. I was at no point in danger of dying during my COVID. But I slept, I don't know how many hours, and I'm still sleeping many, many hours, and I can't. So that's what I wanted to tell you. What such little things can do with your mind, with your brain. Such a little sickness, such a little virus, or such a little tick bite can make that your brain is like gone. Your ability to think is gone. So up to a few days ago, for the past 2 weeks or almost 3 weeks, couldn't think. I could think, oh, bright, oh, need to go to toilet. Some basic things that I could think, then was gone. For a long time, there was sleep or numbness and so-called brain fog, and then there was nothing. There were no emotions. There was no emotional partaking of anything. Now it comes again. So there is again some being there. And if these things happen, like the non-thinking or the not being there as a self, or the no emotional connectivity to anything around you, if that would be because of meditation, that would be brilliant, and I wouldn't complain, and I wouldn't probably speak about it. But it was just because the something in the brain, I don't understand enough of the brain, so I can't tell you if it was in the front or in the back or in the front and back. I have no idea. But it was switched off. Not by meditation, but by some sickness, by some outer cause that was not manageable on my side. So it just came. And this, being aware of that, things can just happen from one second to the other. And you never know whether it will knock you out or not. We have another nun here, a Salmonary. She also spoke much more than I did with that young girl who had the COVID. So she talked with her a lot, and she didn't get any COVID. So you never know who gets it or whether you get something and when you will get. So remember, tomorrow maybe death might come. That is what the Buddha said in his moment of utmost arousal of Samvega. In that moment, he really understood that he needs to do whatever it takes to practice for enlightenment. And I understand that not all of you, of course, are wanting to become enlightened. But whatever your aim is with the meditation practice, you got to do it. You got to go for it. There's no time to wait. There was one night when I had really difficulties to breathe, and I tried to put myself into positions and to really focus on the breath so that I could continue to breathe, kind of. And I was just observing it and thought, well, that would be too bad if I would die now. I wouldn't have given everything. I would not have given everything, although I'm a nun, although I'm practicing since many, many years, I would not have given everything it takes for the aim that I had, namely to become enlightened. So, when would be the time that you do that, if not now? So the time, I was talking about that before I contracted these sicknesses, but now I'm putting more emphasis on it even, and say, you got to practice now, and you got to leave all these stupid and unnecessary. Now I'm thinking of a word that I shouldn't say as a nun, but this nonsense, put it that way. You have to leave all that, or I have to include myself in this. You got to leave all that stupid nonsense behind. And if you have the aim to become a better person, then do it now. It might be too late later, and you might regret it. You might not contract, and I hope so, you might not contract COVID. You might not contract cancer or any other sickness. But we do not know. And so there is really the sense of urgency to practice comes from understanding there is no time to lose. And the closer you get to that truth, that there is no time to lose, the more you might get a focus on things. The more you might avoid distractions. And that is one thing that I hope will stick with me a little bit around, that I don't want to put up with distractions anymore. Of course, my mind also, as any mind, is going to distractions, wandering here, wandering there, wanting this, wanting that. But does that lead to the aim? Does that lead you to be a better person? Or does that lead to enlightenment? Most probably not. So as I said, not everybody has the urge to become enlightened. And it's not necessary to want to become enlightened, to have some Samvega. If you think, I need to become a stream enterer in this life, because I do not ever want to go to any lower place than the hell, than the than the human realm. If that is so, if you have that aim, then you have to go for it. And nothing should obstruct you. And you should not let anything obstruct that. Clear the path and go for it. As I said in the beginning, now I don't remember anymore what I said in the beginning. Yeah, he's gone. No, you see, but look at me. Not because I want your attention or I want your pity or something. I'm not having any pity, self-pity, or, well, I do probably, but I'm not saying for that. Look at me. But once your brain is like that you can't even remember what you wanted to say or what you have said before, it's too late. I mean, I hope, really do hope, that I will recover. And I'm confident that I will. And I kind of work for it, that I do. But imagine, just imagine, look at this mind that can't cognize, a mind that can't think. And think for yourself, I want to practice because before my mind gets to a state like that, for whatever reason, may it old age, may it be sickness. You want to have practice before, because if I die in this state, I wouldn't know where that takes me. Because when the mind is in such a state, you would be in a dying moment, you can only use what you have practiced well. In a mind state like that, like mine now, if I would die, I couldn't do anything like a meditation practice that I hadn't thoroughly practiced, that I wouldn't be 100% stable at. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't be able to do anything that possibly would only half knowledge or half known. And forget about the things that you think, oh, I can do that later. I save that for later. Forget about that. It is not possible. You got to practice now before it's too late. If you want to die well, practice now well. So, yeah, there is something from Samvega. She's writing, I'm not aiming for enlightenment, but at least can try to be a better person. No, do not try. Just do it. Go for it. Be a better person. There's no try. Just do it. Right? Buddha Ruchi says, I think it is courageous of you to teach us during your time of illness. I think it's important because, of course, I'm selfish. I don't want to lose the Dhamma. I need to keep it fresh in my mind. This is now deteriorating. And I need to, I really think, I feel I have to to do something that the Dhamma at least remains. So I need to settle it in this heart. And I think when I talk about it and when I remind myself, when I remind you, I'm reminding myself also. So it's in a way selfish. Egot says, the Buddha said someone who's got 4 powers shouldn't be afraid of death and bad rebirth, power of wisdom, energy, blamelessness, and inclusiveness. Does Samvega count as the power of energy? No, not fully. I think Samvega can lead you to these powers, to the 4 powers, if you fully understand the danger of not practicing. So if you have Samvega like the Buddha had before his enlightenment, when he encountered Buddha Mara's armies, talked about the Maras of army, no, you know what I mean. We talked about it, 11, I think, or 10. These things presently are gone, but we talked about it. So listen to other talks. So Samvega might lead to wisdom, might lead to energy, and might lead to blamelessness, because you understand that any one more, say, in case of my case, breaking a rule of my 311 or of your 5. So when you have Samvega, you understand, if I continue to break my rules, I'll go straight the bad direction, maybe not into hell. I don't want to say that necessarily, but you understand that it is better to live a blameless life. And if you ego, yes, take the 8 rules or the 5, whatever, but keep them. And do not waver. There is no wavering. If there's the decision between blamelessness and faultiness or blame, then choose. And if you are aware, there's a moment when you know, I'm choosing either the way of blameworthiness, or how we say, or blamelessness. So choose wisely. If you have the 5 rules, then keep them. If you have the 10, 227, or 311, then keep them as best as you can. At least not with an evil mind. At least not with bad intentions. If you cannot keep them, I'm not ever the one who blames anyone for being not perfect. But so that Samvega should give rise to wisdom also, to that energy, to blamelessness. Mm-hmm. You know, Upasika Metika is saying that I'm teaching in a second language. It is funny, but I'm thinking in English. If I can think well, then it would be in English. The German is much more down. I decided to give the teaching tomorrow in German myself as well, but it's really funny. But the English is presently easier for me. So what else did we have here? I think, well, for me, concentration here, Igor is saying when he had COVID, awareness of breath was hard. I could be aware of the breath and could see how some breath was going through, and could, when I was not asleep, could make sure that I kind of knew almost every breath, because it was hard to breathe. It was not like you it was not like going this flowing in and out. It was hard. It was kind of hard work. So I knew. But what for me was so difficult is, or is still, is to concentrate. So that is why I think if you have no concentration before, and if you haven't practiced that, and you find yourself in a situation where you are sick or old, and your mind is deteriorating, or you have a dementia or something like that, and what you have not practiced until then will not be possible for you in this life. For us, not for you only. So Melissa, you can. Our address is on our website, aninjavihara.org. You can, but you must not. I'm not asking for anything. And I did get, in fact, a lot of vitamins and things to get me better. But if you want to send some tea, I will for sure drink it. But as I said, you mustn't. So I think we were left, or there was that one thing, one sentence, that when you When you don't want to be enlightened but still want to be a good person, I think whatever your aim is, be a better person, doing meditation every day, helping others, becoming a bodhisattva, whatever, becoming enlightened. Whatever that is that you aim for when you practice meditation. Don't think there is another moment. The moment to do it is now. And that is every single moment. Now and now and now and now and now. Practice. And the practice, choose a practice that is suitable for your aims. If you want to be a better person, then choose a practice that is suitable for you to become a better person, and avoid distractions. Avoid going astray. Do you have any questions? Do you remember we had the talks? I think it was 2 talks, 2 Wednesdays about caring for dying people. And I think I would like to add to that, to those talks, that it is important when you care for somebody who is ill or who is even dying, that you don't assume that they can do things and that they can develop things when they are there. You really have to guide them every single step. You really have to guide them. You know, when as I was lying there and couldn't concentrate, I would have needed somebody who sits there and is the external source to keep me concentrated, because I couldn't do it myself. There was just not the ability. So I would just want to add that in to the talks, that do not assume that a person that is sick or dying and you accompany them, that they can develop things on their own. The practice would be coming from you. Do you ever offer retreats in English? Well, I could. Could do. Sure. Why not? So we could think of having a brief retreat online, for example. Yes, I do give talks in German on Zoom, and I'm not giving out the links usually to public because of one of my colleagues had a bad experience with that, and so if you want to have the link, please write to our monastery. You find the email address on our webpage. It's info at anenja-vihara.org, but you can check that on our website, anenja-vihara.org, and then you write to our office and they will send you the link. And I don't know if we shall do that, organize an online retreat with Buddhist insight, or whether that would be something that we would be organizing ourselves. I'm not sure about that, but can talk to them, and we can do. And also, you can come, of course. We have one more down with COVID, but she shall be out of, how is that? Quarantine tomorrow. So from then on, you're welcome to come. No, I think we're quite booked now, but you can still write. Maybe come. So I think I'm through today. That was it. I hope I could give you some inspiration to really give you a sense of Samvega and to really start to practice, and not to let your motivation just slip away again and again, and find yourself immersed in distractions again and again. So much love to you all. Stay healthy and well. Bye-bye.